Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So definitely a bit of a later stream than normal. I blame that on the fact that I had to wait for food. So we're getting going shortly. How are you guys doing? We've got Apollo Potato, Pino, and Sturmgurkan. Sturmgurkans. How you doing there, Storm Pickles? It's good to have you, my friends. Okay. Bring the game on. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of work off cam actually. Been talking to Infinite Monkey as well earlier on. So we've made a few alterations, but for the most part we still have a lot to do here. Though THG will at earliest be able to look at return on Monday, so we don't have to rush too much. We can take our time to a degree. How you doing there, Paul? Good to have you as always, my friend. Okay. So I think we need to address obviously the issues of last turn, and I think Aaron was overreacting to this obviously over here. It's one of those, isn't it? Sense of frustration gets you sometimes, but in reality, sure we have a little bit of damage there to the actual battleship Fuso, but it's nothing that isn't exactly manageable. She's had her speed drop, but she's not... we're not going to be using her to chase anything down, really. We'll look at the captains of the actual ships over here, replace the captains that do not have high enough skill to avoid things such as collision. Yeah, so she's got 13 and 9 major. The 9 major could probably be repaired. I think that could be potentially repaired by a AR. But 13's too much. I think an AR can repair about 10 major damage, but not above that. So the engine damage could be sorted out, which is probably the biggest thing here. Flotation damage never good, but we can manage that. She doesn't upgrade until 1943, very late into 1943 as well. Conversions. She wouldn't be able to convert until late 1943 either. So yeah, we'll have to have her really sent in for repairs at some point in the future, but it's not too bad actually. How you doing there, J Street? Good to have you as always, my friend. What does a parent say when their child is assigned to Bison? I like that one. I don't know, I've been a bit random on the streams as of late, really. Okay. So I think what we're going to do in this situation over here is, the fact is, and will remain, is the fact that Kandari has fallen. Now, with the fall of Kandari, that does actually give us a lot of means to work with. But first of all, we need to get the spline, we need to get the sport elements back into here at Kandari, so that needs to be a priority. As far as we can tell over here then, we have been running the G3s over here from Babaldoir, pretty high levels of search, about 70-30% on the search phase, 70% search, 30% rest. Now, that's revealed, let's see here, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we see about 13 submarines over here. We do see a 14th submarine over here moving east, interestingly enough. So that looks like it's coming around Kandari. We've also got another 2 over here as well. So he's got a lot of submarines in this area, like nearly 20 submarines. I'm going to assume probably somewhere in the region about 20 submarines in the area. I'm always going to assume that there's probably more than what we can actually see here. But I do believe that base hexes, I asked Major about this one, but supposedly the base hexes are considered shallow ocean anyway, which does make sense. It is very close up to the shore, isn't it, after all? Yeah, we will go for another deliberate attack at Nomare. We'll go over that one and discuss that. I was discussing that with Infinite not too long ago, actually. So the good news is the base has fallen, which is excellent. What I'm going to be doing here is moving out the A detachment of the 4th Division. Their job is going to be to go and hunt down this unit over here. Though, saying that, let's take a look over here then. 39 guns with the A detachment, 35 with B, 35 with C. So A detachment, yeah, definitely has more of the support elements as well, which is very good news. Not quite enough support there. It might be potentially worthwhile to wait for our reinforcements, perhaps. Well, the actual rest of the division over here. We do have the basic Kalaka. Now, Kalaka actually does have some resources. It does have a size 2 port, which is very nice. It doesn't have an airfield, though. So as far as it goes, it's only really something just as a trophy. But still worthwhile looking to take. Now, unfortunately, we do have jungle rough terrain over here, so that makes things a little bit more difficult. Palapo is a size 1 port, no airfield. We do have an airbase, well, sorry, a port over here. Port, Yeah, I'm okay. So as far as it goes, on the island of Celebes, there's only really the base of Manado, Kandari, and Mikasa that matter. And Makasa. They're the only ones that matter. Shame that it doesn't have an airfield, otherwise it would have been quite nice. Yeah, another chapter in the saga of the Bastards of Numair. What happened to your subchanges that were low and fuel no Babaldwarm? Well, we've got 2 subchanges over here, so yep, they've made it into ports over here then, which is good news. So I'm currently loading up elements of the 23rd Air Flotilla. 1,296 troops aboard at the moment in time. Now we do have the Shanghai Maru and the Okushima Maru. They've just arrived there, carrying about 1,000 tons of supply each actually at this moment in time. How you doing there, year-old wargamer? Good to have you, my friend. Indeed, they'll be dead. Well, this is it indeed. They won't last too long. They've lasted longer than I would have imagined, to be fair. I honestly expected the battle would maybe have taken about a week at absolute most, and I think we are at about a week. Is it a week or is it about 6 days? It's either 5 or 6 days that we've been fighting there. But the thing is, it seems very clear that the base does have a large amount of supplies, which, yeah, that's understandable. He has definitely reinforced that base. So as far as it goes for the actual Bastards of Numair, we shall call them, it's just going to be a case of grinding them into dust, really. I was going over the actual statistics with Infinite earlier on, actually, so we'll go over that one shortly. And what I want to go over here is the fact that we have the Shanghai Maru and the Ukishimaru. Now, they are very quick. Very, very quick. These are very good ships, actually. I think how we're going to change things as well. What we're going to do here to change things is we are going to change the approach in how we use our APs. So, for example, these forces over here, the ones, well, the actual ships with the 21 knots, they'd be better off doing the runs between Babaldwarb and Truck, or Truck and elsewhere, or Babaldwarb and elsewhere. They'd be better for doing that. In areas of contested areas, it would be better to use these slower APs. Granted, they are slower, but the thing is, it's like we are going to be dispersing our forces across more ships. So on the off chance that one of them is sunk or one of the convoys attacked, at least there's a greater chance that part of the unit lives. Can you show the status of the forces in Mindanao? Mindanao. I forgot where Mindanao is now. Whereabouts is Mindanao? Ah, you know, I've completely slipped my mind about one. You know, you got me there, for I can't remember where Mindanao is. Oh, right, okay, I was thinking of an actual base. Right, Mindanao is in the actual southern... Right, okay, ugh, that would know my head. Ah, thank you very much for anything, I really appreciate it, my friend. Yep, South Philippines. Yeah, actually, I was thinking, like, is there a base called Mindanao? But obviously referring to, obviously, yeah, God, that went over my head. I'm gonna call that a blonde moment. Yeah, obviously Luzon, Samar, Legacy, Mindanao, yeah, of course. Yeah, that one completely on my head. Speaking of the forces at Davao, I'm going to have them picked up shortly, actually. I believe what I'm going to do is take this over here. So, for example, they're currently offloading supplies at the moment. Supplies obviously been very nice, but it's only about 224 tons of supply there. At the moment, we've reformed the units, and we have... How much do we actually have here in the actual base? About 267 tons of supply, which is obviously not a huge deal of supply. But they're not going to be attacking. They're just going to be waiting here, building up the actual planning. I'm going to bring in an additional naval guard unit just to make sure that we can actually do this. I do need to bring in additional supplies here as well. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to have them replenish at sea, so obviously share the fuel. Now we do have the Ansuyu. She's used a decent amount of her actual ammunition as well, but she still has her depth charges, so that's fine. So what I'd like to do then is, they're currently unloaded at the moment. They've only got 224 tons of cargo to do there, so not much. But what I'll do then is, retirement is allowed. We're going to have them head over here to Davao. So once they're done, they'll move out of the area. Have them head to Davao. They'll go ahead and pick up the actual forces over there. I might have at least a portion from troops of other, well, other units potentially take one of these other bases in the area. Maybe take Jungle Islands. Well, what we're going to be doing then, we should have been having the G3s fly last time, but unfortunately I did accidentally set them to ground pound. One squadron of G3s is going to remain in the area to actually shut down this area, in fact, of ship movement. As far as it goes for the actual strait, we'll get round to that at some point in the future, but I can do this via the actual air. Yeah, you're right, Van Open, that's what I'm thinking actually. We've got about 480 tons of supply over there. The Ansuya would be quite good as well, because obviously you can head back to Bamaldwar. We don't need that many. I mean, the fact is, it's like 11 knots, 12 knots. It's kind of a waste of time there. So we are going to take her, we're going to place her on... well, we'll place her on, well, ASW. She's going to head back to Bamaldwar. Yeah, she's going to head back to Bamaldwar. We're going to go ahead and pick up some supply from Bamaldwar. I do need to get more supply down here to Bamaldwar as well. We've only got 6,190 tons at the moment. That is really not enough. We do have more supplies coming in off some of these actual task forces, but I need actual supplies sent down that way. So let's see, what do we have here? I probably do have a decent amount of Edens, well, Aidens. Okay, what do we got? Lemurs. I mean, lemurs are good at that sort of thing. 4875. What is the tonnage cargo capacity? Sorry. 4670. 6125. The outside bus as well. Okay. What I'll do then is, let's see. I'll send 2 lemurs. Have them load of a supply. So we've got about 19,000 tons of supply here. In fact, no, we'll not do that. I don't want to take that much of the way supply. I could send one, have one load, and then when it reaches that, have another one load over here and keep the system running. But I don't need that much. I'll send 2 of these Aidens. That works fine for me. About 9,340 tons of supply in total. Maybe a little bit too much. About sending some lemurs. I was llamas. Yeah, I like it. Actually, no, what we'll do then is we'll send 1 lemur. And that's 6,125 tons. That's more than enough. Well, it's sufficient anyway. It's not taking too much, and obviously it's going to move out pretty quickly. So we'll have that loaded up. I do need to organise an actual escort. And then Suyu would be quite nice. Hello, how you doing there, Felix the Swift? They are dead yet. Not far away. But welcome to the stream, my man. Good to have you on board. Okay, so we're loading up supplies here. That's fantastic. Do we have a Ansuyu nearby? We do, actually. You'll do. $40 knots works, excellent. Have you go and meet the force over here. So the single ship. There we go. Go and merge. Peru Maroon. God damn it, Paul. Will you send the heavy cruiser Maya back to Japan? Yeah. We've got her in over here at Hong Kong, haven't we? She was just brought up into service this turn, actually, I believe. So she'll be heading back to Japan, probably either, more than likely, Nagasaki. Momi. She's due for an upgrade in September. I'm going to leave Yomogi over here. Or, yeah, leave her here for the time. Well, then again, actually. These are very nice destroyers, actually. You're making 17 knots. Okay. Right, what we're going to do here, then, take these 2 destroyers. The destroyer Minesweeper W2 can head back. Right, so I'll send Maya with the Yomogi and the W2. I'm going to keep these 2 destroyers and have them sent to the Dutch East Indies, or really, to be honest, actually be joint with the Kidbutai. Yeah. As far as it goes for the supply in that area, arriving on those task forces, I'm going to have that spread out to a degree. I'll more than likely be taking a fair, decent whack of that as we go. It's one of these. I think 6,125 tons there. Like, at the moment, I've got it headed for Bombardment, but we don't have to have it head to Bombardment. But I'll have a ship actually loaded up so we can have it move elsewhere. We'll see what we'll do. Okay. So we have Nagasaki over here. 90,000 capacity there, that'd be excellent. Yep, we have our headquarters where we're able to use them. Right, return to Nagasaki. Head out at cruise speed. Yeah, only 8 knots. Yeah, it is a scary move. What does Pescadores have? 10,000 tons. It's not enough. Okay. Well, we'll have that Lima loaded up with supplies and we'll figure out where it needs it most. But I'd rather have it ready as well. You'll still need an escort for your new CVR. And we could use the 2 DDs in Hong Kong, that's correct. It's just one of those things of like, we're using a lot of fuel to head back to Japan and then from Japan down to whatever the hell she's going to be going. So I think it's one of those of where it'd be a little bit too much. I don't know, it's one of those things, it's not very efficient, is it? We'll have sufficient means around Japan. I could actually wrestle up some destroyers from the north of Japan and have them escort her out. Or potentially even just actual escort vessels will be fine enough. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Obviously speed would be nice. Speed is a defense of its own. Okay, so they're going to be heading back to Nagasaki. Now, myself and Infinite were talking about the situation over here at Changsha. It's going to bring up the actual drawing tool just to make it a little bit easier to see. Okay. Oops. So the issue that we have at the moment in China is the fact that we do have Changsha here. So I'm actually going to go with a different colour, that's a little bit easier to see. We'll go with red. Okay, so just south of Changsha, we do of course have this Chinese stack over here. So something in the region, I think we saw estimations of numbers between, I don't know, 30 to 40 to 80,000. So I'm going to go with the worst case situation, assume it's about 80k, something in that sort of area. At the moment we don't have any information, but we know it's a good few cores. It looks to be about 8 Chinese cores there. So a decent number of men there. Fairly decent number of men. Now, if we take a look over here then. So as you can see over in the hex at Changsha, we control this here. Well, we have the red line there. But it looks as if, yeah, he has control of these 2 hexes, so he is able to actually transfer supply down here. And incidentally, that travels down there, and here to here. So he's actually done a really good job, but it looks like supply can't move down through that road here. So I don't know if it's actually reaching Wenkao. I'm going to have this unit actually set to... See, the thing is, I don't know what the strength of that unit is, so we'll continue with the actual bombardment attack. I was tempted to go for a deliberate attack, but then again, that could be a Chinese course. It's one of these things that we don't know what it is, so we're better off not rushing headlong into something. Send Task Force 53 back to pick up Show. Yeah. I don't know which one's 53, but we'll look at that. I'll do this first. Okay. So the issue that we have here at the moment, I was discussing this earlier on with Infinite, is the fact that we do see something in the region about 20 odd thousand men over here. If we take a look at that. Yeah, 21,000 men, 46 guns. 46 guns is really very, very little. So the basic Yang, as far as we can tell, we do have detection level of 7 out of 10, so it's not the most accurate, but it's somewhat in the way of accurate. It's a good guess, really. It's a good guess. But as far as it goes, it is the weakest link on the chain here. It has 3 units over here. It has 5 here. 7 there. 11 there. It's got 24 here, and it's got 8 here. So, as far as it goes, this is the weakest link. He has some force either moving in or moving out. I'm going to assume it's moving out. He may change that in the future, but something's moving out there. I've got these forces moving on up, but I do need additional men here to make the cross in a Henyang. A single division, maybe. They've got a lot of assault value, but the thing is, it's like, it is a single division. It's going to take too much in the way of the brunt of the attack, and it can't rest all. We need, I don't know, ideally another division or 2 divisions. I contemplated the idea of having the 38th actually routed up that way, but the thing is, it's like I need the 38th in Malaya, so we can't do that. Now, we did discuss as well potentially having our forces, if you take a look over here, so we get the road network up. So we contemplated the idea of moving along these roads over here, but that's a long, long way. There's also another idea of moving them by ship all the way around here to Canton and then up. But again, the issue is it's like some of these units are restricted HQs, so they aren't really able to load onto ships. I mean, I think you can move them via ships, but I'm not really meant to do that. So that's a no-go. Then, of course, it would take a while. It'd also mean it's spending fuel to move them, which is, it's not really the best. So what we're going to do here, then, is we're going to confront this stack over here. Because as far as it goes, rather than marching something like that, what we need to do is be able to march like that. I need this road open. I need to control these hexes here. So what I'm going to do then is we're going to confront this force to the south, but I'm going to do that with a fair amount of strength. We can't really go half-assed. So we'll take a look here then. So we've got the 32nd Division. What I'm going to do then, we do have the 35th Division here. The 3rd Division's just arrived back. Obviously the 3rd Division really could do with being rested, but they'll rest here. That's fine. What I'm going to do then, let's see, so 32nd Division, strongest division there. I'm going to take the 32nd Division. They're going to head south. I'm going to take the strong divisions because I'm going to have additional divisions to replace these men anyway. I could potentially take the mixed brigades, but I do need the numbers. I'll take the 110th Division. We have 8 divisions here at the moment. What I'll do then is I'll take the 35th Division there as well. Is it 35th or is it the 110th? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Right, the 35th. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to read it. But then again, they do need to rest as well, actually. 110th is moving. Right, they stay here. I'll take the 19th. Now it's a very strong force of 3 divisions. The reason why we're going to be doing this is going to become evident in a short moment. But I'm also going to send the 13th Tanker Regiment. However, they do need to follow the division moving out of here. Yeah, we're going to be sending tanks. Beat you to the punch line, didn't I, for? Okay. I need you to follow the actual divisions, though. Right, so sent all to follow. So see, these other units need to remain. The good news is obviously I can sort this out from units that are moving. We'll just have to set the units to bombard again, but that's okay. I just need them to follow that division. Following 32nd Division. Right, the armoured cars can move out as well. I mean, to be honest, it's only 17 tank heads, but that's fine. They're still handy. They remain in place. Right, there we go. So, the 32nd, the 110th, the 19th Division, the 9th Armoured Car Company, and the 13th Tank Regiment are going to be heading south. We're going to do them with the artillery here. Set them to bombard. And that's the wrong unit. Okay. Defend, yeah, that's fine. We also do have the 26th Field Artillery. Bombardment there. Actually, a couple of them, isn't there? Right, sort by type. Or is this a anti-tank? No, it's already on bombardment. Sometimes it really is hard to see with this game. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now what I'm going to do as well is we do have additional armor basically moving down over here as well. So the plan is going to be we take all the armor, and the armor is going to move over this way, along with a couple divisions. So what I'm going to be looking towards doing then is actually creating a 4-division force, a fairly strong unit really. I mean, it's going to be a corps. It's going to be a Japanese corps for the most part. We do have artillery that's going to be going down here to Canton along with the 38th Division as a part of Southern Army Command. But of course we do have other elements of the artillery there that are not part of Southern Army Command, and therefore they're going to stay in China. So we're going to have that artillery alongside this artillery here that's headed north, and it's all going to be looking towards crossing the river over here at Hengyang. I think it's Hengyang. The beauty of this plan is it actually makes use of the armor. So the moment over here, this is urban light, so they're not really making use of that. I mean, this is kind of sucky, because the fact is it's like wooded rough, I believe, so it's not exactly much fun. We also need to take the 104th Division. I think it's the 104th Division anyhow. Is it the 104th? Yeah, the 104th. We need to go ahead and go and capture that base over there. So the issue is I've got these guns over here. I'm half tempted to have them sit back and remain in that position for the time being. I mean, I could always send a detachment to the 104th Division, but the thing is, it's like if we send detachments, then the division's even weaker. It depends, really. I think we'll send a detachment. This is one of those, isn't it? It's like I'm going to be leaving the artillery out in the cold there. Then again, if I send a detachment, well, no, we have to send a division. I can't go with low. We could do, but it's one of those things where we put ourselves in a difficult position. I do have an armoured car company over here, but it would mean that these guys would be, Then again, it's motorized support, it's tank heads. We'll get it moving. If they can make it there, that'd be great. So they can move it along the rail lines, sorry, along the roads. And this is not exactly great terrain, but at least they do have those roads. But I might as well get them moving. I can find another unit over here to garrison that base. But they cannot do enough over there. It's a waste of having, it's a waste of time having tankettes there. I do need additional infantry here. They're about, yeah, they'll be there shortly. Maybe 1 to 2 days. So they'll arrive in their hex while the 104th is there, so we can then begin them to march with the 104th perhaps. I think it'll be okay. It should work out. Right. So now we do have a lot of armor here. The 40th Division. Right, none of these forces are actually marching as of yet. What I'm going to do then, we'll begin them marching. I'm going to keep the 4th Brigade over here. I was initially going to keep the division here as well, but I'd rather have a division when it's needed. The 4th Brigade is going to be there as a rear guard. We will have other reinforcements that can be moved over here as well to reinforce it if it needs to be. But we do have men that are moving down the actual road here as well. So I think for this time, the 4th Division is really... it's not needed. The 4th Brigade really is here as just a insurance policy. So we'll keep them here. So I'm going to have them on rest and training while they are here. Now the armor. That needs to head into Changsha. Then they'll move down. So what we'll do here then... right, they're marching anyway, so that's fine. We'll allow them to just do that then. Works for me. Once they arrive at Changsha, I'll organise them. But yeah, we have the 9th, 12th, 5th and 10th Tank Regiments over here. So that's a total of 606 vehicles. Obviously that's not entirely all armour. Obviously it's included motorised support. But that's a fairly strong force there. And no wonder. Artillery here as well. Right, so they're marching to Changsha. They're moving independently as well to make use of their speed. They're not following each other, so that's okay. The good news is, once those tank regiments arrive there, they're going to be heading down south here as well. So what we're ultimately aiming to do here, then, is I've never intended for Changsha to be a battlefield as such. I've contemplated it. I've been contemplating it today, to be honest. I've been thinking, well, is it worth it just to go through the Changsha defenders and grind them into the dust? And it can be done. It could absolutely be done. It'd be painful, but anything's going to be painful in China. There's no quick and easy way of doing anything. But instead of doing that, because we will have to do that, but we can do it in a smart way. So the idea is then we'll keep the majority of our strength over here. The artillery that isn't already moving and that isn't already over here is going to be heading down to Changsha. They're going to be moved to Changsha and they're going to be bombarding day and night. The reason is obviously it's going to weaken his forces and it's going to force him to use supply over there. Because obviously his guns are going to be counter-battery firing. Now, we might take some small losses, but the thing is, it's like it's going to be ramping up the losses on his side. We're going to coincide that with increased amounts of bombing from Hankow. But what we're going to be doing then is looking to have about 4 divisions, as much armour as we possibly can get down here. That's going to breach across the river line over here. We'll take the city of Henyang, or at least we'll be more than likely to take the city of Henyang. He may have some actual defences, but the thing is, if it's on ×1 defensive terrain such as clear, it's not going to make that much of a difference. A few divisions will be able to grind through that. From there, we push on towards the city just to the rear of Changsha. Now, at that point, I mean, the thing is, it's like, as soon as we cross the river at Henyang, he's going to probably be looking towards pulling back out of the area. So what we'll be doing before they actually cross the river, probably on the same turn as where they're likely to cross the river, or maybe as they begin to cross the river, is by that time we should have a good few more divisions in Changsha along with lots more in the way of artillery. So we'll begin to launch deliberate attacks against the defenders of Changsha. Launch an attack, couple days of rest, launch another attack, couple days of rest, launch another attack, which is continuously grind them into the dust there. Well, hopefully at the same time we'll be able to cross the river at Henyang, and just, if not able to cut off his line of retreat, at least have a second way across the river. But that's what we need to do. This force over here is making my life difficult. But the thing is, it can be defeated, and once it's defeated, it's going to look towards retreating towards this base over here. So what we're going to try to do then, it's going to take him a couple days to move out of this hex. It depends really what he's going to be doing now. And the thing is, it's like he might remain in position. He may march to south, which would be a pain in the arse, but I could potentially counter that. But it would be a massive pain in the arse. But it would abandon his position here. And it would mean that I'd be open to move out and link up my alliance over here. He'd be cut off from supply. So he's not going to do that. Now, the next thing he could potentially do is he could march on the actual supply lines over here. We don't know how much he knows, but we know that that is going to be difficult for him, which is why we're going to leave a brigade over here just to act as a rear defense. Well, rear line defense. Another thing he could do is he could move in to join the garrison at Changsha. Or he could actually stay put where he is now. He could even stay put with just one force and move the rest into Changsha. There's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of possibilities here. He could even turn around and begin to march towards the 104th Division, depending if he knows if they're there or not. So there's a lot that we have to take into contemplation, and there's a lot that we have to do. So the thing is, I don't want to give THG the luxury of a choice there. I don't want to have him being the one setting the tempo. So what we're going to do then, as we just did, is the divisions are going to march south. We're going to march on him before he marches on us, or before he marches on somewhere else in China that's going to make our life difficult. I can beat that force. And the thing is, if once I do force it out of Hex, and force it back, we take control of the actual hexes there. So if you take a look, just, yeah, there we go. I've got control over here, and once I take control of that hex, he's going to be cut off from supply. Once he's cut off from supply, he's going to really quite rapidly run out of supply, which is going to be excellent. We'll be able to destroy those men quite easily, and then be able to cross the river over here at Hanyang. It's going to depend really what he does here, but the thing is, as soon as we move a couple divisions there, it's going to ring some alarm bells in THG's head, I can imagine. He's going to be thinking, right, okay, well that makes sense, he's obviously sent in forces to deal with that. Now the question is going to come down to how good is his reconnaissance, because if he doesn't see those men, and he doesn't see where they move, he may not know that they're moving to cross at Henyang. But that's probably going to happen. You need more info, let's talk about reconnaissance. Know that little dot on the, when are we talking here, sorry. To be fair, my screen's in night mode at the moment, so everything's a little bit more yellowed than it normally would be. So you'll have to be a little bit more specific. Left side. Are we talking... what are we talking here? Right, yeah. In Henyang, that little dot there indicating movement. Is that the one we're talking about? Okay. I'm going to start sweeping here. I could do with some reserves here, actually. Yeah, it would be handy. Right, draw one from the reserve. So I'm going to take a couple of these from reserve. The reason being, well, we're going to be expecting battle over here. So what I'm going to be doing then, I don't think it's necessary to actually, I mean, I could be sweeping. But I think what we're going to do here then, and actually this is probably the better idea. He's not going to have that much in the way of actual fighters. But what I'm going to do here then, due to the fact that we do have currently 4-1 active, I'm going to split them up into units of about 13 or 14. Yeah, so we've got one at 13, 2 at 14. So what I'm going to do here, then, let's take a look. Still good here. Fatigue is excellent. 5, 3, and 3. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you stand down. You're going to rest. These guys are going to sweep over Changsha. The reason being is, on the off chance that it does actually have a combat air patrol over there, we'll be able to intercept it. And ideally destroy it. But at least we'll have 2 sweeps going in over there. So what I'll do then is we'll have 2 sweep, 1 rest, and then we'll repeat like that. Leave them without a target, you say. Fair enough. Will they just sweep in the area? That lets the commander choose. Ah, right, fair enough. Well, to be honest, 5 fatigue's nothing then. So I'll allow them to sweep as well. So, supposedly we might have 3 sweeps going out to different bases, but we'll see. Okay, so you're currently running reconnaissance over Changsha. What we're going to do then is change that over. So I'm going to be taking a look at Xiangtan. Maintain you over Changsha. I'll have you run over Henyang. Annoyingly, I can't divide that one. It's so weird that we're in, like, KI-15s and then they've got KI-51s. It's just, it's bizarre. But either way, there's a good number of them. Well, in fairness, actually, we'll have them tasked over at Changsha then. I'll take the smaller units over here then. They're going to go ahead and take a look at these units over here. I do have some float planes. I don't know if they're doing any good here. They're not very good at reconnaissance, to be honest. I might as well move them out. I'll have them sent down to Shanghai. I could run them naval search or run them ASW, but I'll run them naval search, I reckon. It's just one of those, using the actual aircraft for what they're meant to be used for. So they can run at 5, we'll run them at 5 hexes. There we go. I meant to give them a reserve, not take the reserve, but I'll put the reserve back in there next turn. So I do have all these scenarios. What is the actual aviation support over here? Oh yeah, nowhere near Attica. So I need to move them over here to Hankau. 235. Additional bombers would be welcome. I'm going to begin to move them. The good news is I can move them via rail. I could move a unit over here, but then again, it's a road construction unit. I was hoping it might have been an airfield engineer. Okay, so they're going to move to Hankau. I was considering moving the salaries here, but I might as well make use of these assets. They really don't have that many uses. They have the range, actually. Best off checking that. 4 hexes, extended range is 5. Range is 4, okay, well that's excellent. Right, 242. Oh, this one can divide. Sorry, I didn't notice that one. Is that the same unit as before? Strange. Right, so we're covering Changsha, we're covering here. I think I might have range to Quailin. Yep, I do. Run reconnaissance over Changtai. Yeah, you're the one I can't divide. So I didn't notice that one. There's actually not that many in the pool here, is there anymore? I'm half tempted to drop the actual altitude of the bombers, but I think 16,000 is fine. At least until I mean, this is it. There's a lot of guns there. I don't think he's got a bunch in the way of AA. The issue is it's like we've not had a bombing run over Changsha for a little while. I think that's obviously been down to the weather. So I think what we'll do then is we'll run another turn at about 16,000. Could upgrade them, that's true, but this one is a restricted command, unfortunately, so it wouldn't be very good. It's only ever really going to stay in China. I mean, close air support would be excellent, but the thing is, it's like bombs can do a hell of a lot better job. Fighters are just here, just escort. Escort and sweep. Okay. Do you really need to run drop tanks? No, it's only, there's no need for that. Free for Changsha. Okay, fair enough. Well, we've got 11 over Changsha. Not obviously squadrons, but 11 individual aircraft. Okay. 4's fine. Set all K 27Bs. I'm going to be using ideally less in the way of supply there. My there sweeping. And that's no small amount of escort either. Right, what we're going to do here then is going to hit ground attack. Oh, I see, we're flying 12,000, right, that makes sense. Okay. I'll move additional bombers. We've got a decent amount of reserves of the scenarios, so I might as well use them. Any hits will do. But then the fact is they're over here, but not exactly doing any good here. They're slowly withering away. How's everybody doing today, but anyway? Oh, we've got some weird music on here. There we go. Let's get back to the actual music that's ingrained in our souls. That's what we like to see. Alright, 252, so we've got plenty. I should be able to get all of them moving over there, really. The rest will move via the rail lines, which I love the fact that we have rail lines here. It makes my life so much easier. But it's one of those, there's no point having them there. Might as well get them in where they're actually useful. Really just ramp up our bombing, really. Okay, and that's all of them. It does mean that I can keep the Sully's bombing Wenkow. I might even potentially have some of them actually go ahead and start bombing Bataan. I think I'm going to switch over to just ground attack over here, perhaps. He's only got 80 guns. Airfield's completely broken, really. Okay. So we'll be looking at 134 bombers this time around. So I can fill that out. I mean, actually, I thought I had more in the way of reserves than I actually do, but I don't. You've got reserve aircraft over here. Well, what we'll do is we'll draw them out. Oh, you only set to 12. We'll go for Singapore shortly, actually. There we go. Takes us up to 155. Okay. So we'll go for about 12,000 feet then. Let's take a look at these Snoyers. Snoyers move at 198, 263, 202, 268. They're actually decently fast. I've actually got a decent amount of speed there. I might have them split up by altitude, perhaps. Maneuver 25. Durability is the issue, though. Oh god, yeah, they are. I mean, they are what they are. It's almost like a Stuka, isn't it, really? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a close support unit, not really anything more than that. It's good for a tactical sense. Okay. I think we'll go 12,000 feet. I could potentially go lower. Alright, so it's all bombers. I'll set them with about 20% rest on each squadron. Still means that we have a decent amount of them actually, they'll be flying out. Interesting, you don't touch the southern headquarters. Okay. John Changsha. Yeah. The thing is, though, with these obsolete planes, they still have uses. Might as well use them until we run out. I mean, 450 kilogram bombs doesn't sound like a lot. And the fact is, it's still a bomb. It'll still do damage. At the end of the day, even if it doesn't blow anybody up, it's still going to force them to, well, they're not going to be rested, are they? You know what I mean? It's going to cause some issues. Might as well throw it in there. So we're going to go with sweeps in the area there. We've got a decent amount of Ki-27s. Now, let's see. Nanning. So covering these two bases over here, then. So as far as it goes, we have reconnaissance over... I think about that. Like all those bases there, more or less. Something in that sort of region. I tell you what for. You might want Stukas, but I want the IL-2s. They'd be nice. Let's take a look at these bombers. How you doing there, monster? Yeah, we've got a unit over here. We've got two on Changsha, we've got one over here. So I've got one single Lily over here. Where's the rest of your formation? Is it in Clark? It's in Clark. Okay, you're gonna go to Clark. There we go. I've got these Eaters over here. Riders, whatever you want to call them. China Expeditionary. I've got a decent number of them in the pool, though. Ooh. It wishes it was the Sonoya. Can I get a move to Hankau? Yep. So we're over here now, it's unfortunate. was quite a good joke, actually. Oh dear. Right, I should have some engineers around here somewhere. We've moved the vast amount, but we should have a couple more. 24-hour stream. I mean, you can pay me. I'll be asleep light, but doesn't mean you don't have to pay. Oh dear. That's the 39th doing. I think they've just arrived, haven't they? Yeah. Okay, so they're going to go into rest. They were from Winkau. Indeed. I should have some forces that have been routed out that way. Yeah. So they're moving to Hankau then. I'll move some of them out as we can do. Probably next turn, then when I'll be able to do that. So we'll just have to manage for the time being. So 161 of flyer. Well, not exactly 161, but a fair few. Though fatigue's not even that high, really. I think we'll fly out at 100% this time. So ideally, all 161 will fly out. There's been 104 fighters here. I see mostly 27s, but not an insignificant amount of 43s. So that should be quite good. We'll be hitting Changsha quite hard, ideally. Ramping up the bombardment as well until it arrives. We'll get this moving out here. We'll gather some information over here as well, make some use of that. Indeed. Well, I mean, what we'll do then is we'll get them flying out here while their fatigue is low. Once I get to about 10 fatigue, I might give them a little bit of rest. Or even a little bit higher than that. I don't think I need to be worrying that much when I've got that little away fatigue. There's auxiliaries over here as well. It's one of these things, it's like, we could do that, but I'd rather have them bomb Bataan, really. Speaking of Bataan. Right, so I've got 3 of them over here, they've got 4 on the way of reserves. Quite lucky, those guys. I'm going to transfer them. See. The 20... Is it here? Or is it still a Johobru? Kotabru, sorry. Oh, excellent, still here. In fact, I'm going to keep you here. They'll have to unpack, but the reason for that is... Let's see. Yeah. I'm going to have 36... Well, technically 40. I'm going to move the Genzan KUK-1 back to Malaya. To Kotabaru. I need to have something here to potentially prevent naval attack. So, I may potentially run them on 70% naval surge. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like I need these bombers to be escorted. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them on naval search for the time being. So we'll run them naval search. Fatigue's actually really not bad. Pilots, well, look at that experience. Some numpties in here though. Okay. Cross veteran. Says I need a few more pilots. So finally just see how much we have here. So I've got 38 pilots. Which is about 40 aircraft, but obviously these guys are reserves, so we can only fly 36 anyway. So we've got more pilots than we really need. Okay. Reserve, well, release to active. There we go. It's not the most experienced squadron, really. But either way, they're going to run that. Run them 6,000 feet there. Yeah, so they're going to be using bombs. Now, the thing is, what's the range here to Rangoon? So Rangoon's out of range, which is fantastic. I'll Port Blair. But, yeah, we'll have a better idea of what's going on over here. Now, I've routed this submarine over here. I did discuss it with Infinite, by the way. There is a bit of a worry in the fact that he could potentially use some ships over here to bombard the base at Johor Bahru. That is a bit of a worry. What do I have here? I've got G3M2s, I've got C5s. What are we looking at in terms of fatigue here? Fatigue's low. Non-existent, really. You're running reconnaissance, but you're running reconnaissance over nothing at the moment. Unit order of battle. Some at Kota Bahru, some at Marie, some at Kuala Lumpur. What are you doing at Kuala Lumpur? See, there's no beam in here. So anyway, what we're going to do then is we're going to transfer these ghosts to Marie. Yeah, they're basically a dead squadron, aren't they? Nine out of 10 is pretty good. Let's see. I'm going to run detection over Singkawang. I'm going to have these guys. They need to go ahead and join it with the rest of the squadron. So I'm going to have them sent out to Marie. I can use them to actually run... I can use them to run detection over other bases in the Dutch East Indies area. Transfer them there. And these guys are transports. Right, they're running training. I've got a couple of these in the actual reserve there, so that's quite nice. What's their range? 11. Yeah, we're going to be running sweeps over Singapore. We'll get down to that one shortly. Singkawang. What's the actual distance to Singkawang? 13. Okay. It might be easy just to run them from Marie, actually. We do have paratroopers. We've got the Yokosuka fed SLF over here. Okay, what I'm going to do then... These guys are also going to transfer over to Miri. Miri. I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. So we're going to do then reconnaissance over. I'm looking for airfields really. We'll run reconnaissance over Semarinda. You're running net reconnaissance over Balapapan. You can run reconnaissance over Singwan. I'm just going to merge them into the same one. It's ridiculous that they're separated. Be a few days before they're ready. Yeah, you're right, man. There we go. So that's 9. We can only run 9 at max anyway. So once their aircraft are ready, we'll get them moving out. I'll split that squadron up as well, be quite handy. I could potentially use it in the Pacific or around the Dutch East Indies, really. I've got a few options with that one. Which obviously is very handy. Comes in fairly useful, really. Fairly useful. Right, what are you? Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, and again, this is one of those. The distance to Singapore is about 9 hexes. I'll have them run the reconnaissance as well. At least until I actually have the ability to form them up into one complete squadron. Okay. So, regarding Singapore then. What I've done as well is actually... Let's see. I've moved the Sonoyas that were actually originally over here in Thailand. They've been moved down here. They're going to be moving down here to more than likely Johor Bahru in the next turn or two. But what we've done here then is we've split up the A620s and I've added the KI-44 Tojos here. So we're going to have the 3rd KUS A and B from the, well obviously 3rd KUS 1, A and B detachment. They're going to be resting, obviously get rid of that fatigue there. I'll then more than likely rest the C detachment after. But we're going to be sweeping here. Though, I think I'm going to reform this into a complete one. So sweep with 29 in total there, and then another 13 and then 7 Tojos. I'm a little bit worried about them going in too low a number. But I think that'll work out fine. Have these two rest here. But also can split it up and rest it as we need to. But 9 fatigue's not too bad. I'm just worried about the initial numbers, really. Okay. So we've got Oscars, we've got additional reconnaissance over here, but in Sweden, well, reconnaissance over Singapore. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's one of those things, isn't it? Yeah, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild that one too. Once we completely demolish his air power, then we'll rest them like that. I'm a little bit worried about that. It's still got a decent number. I'm going to have these actual Tojos placed on escort, I reckon. Escort over Singapore. How much room have I got over here to drop a room? I could spot a decent number more. If I wanted to. I'm a little bit worried about the potential for bombardment. That is something that could potentially happen. It does make me wonder, would he actually do that? It's interesting, he's not done it yet. I think I'll keep them flying here from Kuala Lumpur. It does help out with coordination if they're at the same base. I mean, obviously it helps if they're closer, but I think this works out fine. I don't want to put too many eggs in one basket. I mean, the Ki-44s are really, really very good aircraft. I put them in sweeps as well, but I do worry about their numbers. So I think what we'll do then is we'll have this zeros go in there with the big numbers. But we are going to have them escort as well. Fatigue's very low here. I think once it gets to about 10 fatigue, then I'll begin to rest them to a degree. Okay, so Singapore's only 5 hexes away. Yeah, you can manage that. Oh, they got some pilots in there, so I didn't realise they had that many in there. Ah, you're right, aren't you? Yeah, they got some very good pilots in here as well. So we only need 8 of them. So yeah, good spot there. Didn't actually notice that. I divided up my Tojo squads and got really... Alright, I see. Well, what I'll do then... Got quite a few in here really, haven't we? $12. Ah, shite. Didn't mean to do that. My number one. 9, one more. Okay, there we go. Well spotted therefore, I didn't notice that. Right. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to send in 10 to begin with. And let's see. Yeah. I'm still worried about the amount of fighters he has here, but I think what we'll do then is we'll sort of drip feed in bombers to a degree. So this first 10 will send... Yeah, this first time, sorry, we'll send about 10. At least then we have far more escort than we really need. And then obviously we'll see what the results are, and then we'll increase the amount. I think that works out fine. So once we get to the point where he really doesn't have anything flying or able to fly, and obviously if it's on the airfield, that's fine. That means I can actually increase the amount of bombers going there. So we'll send about 10 to begin with. I found the game made new leaders out of the pilots in a squadron when you divide it. So I don't understand what you mean there, monster. Alright, we'll have them undergo training for the time being. Okay, so 10 of them are going to go in. Airfield attack over Singapore. We'll have them going at about 16,000 feet to avoid most of the AA. Normal is 9. More than we need, but that's fine. They're running search at the moment. How does switching production of planes work? Do you have to build factories from zero? Can you convert factories? Well, like, how it works, for example, is, let's say they've got a fighter that's already in production, but you don't have any facilities. You could take one of the facilities that is already producing something. Let's say, okay, let's say, for example, you have... I'll go to the industry one over here, then. So... Okay, so let's say that we have the Mabashi factory over here that's producing A620s. Now, what you could do then, for example, interesting that we've seen a failed there at Hiroshima. I'll have to check that one out. But what you could do then is obviously you could have an A620 switched out to, let's say, the A6M3. Now the thing is, it's a very similar model, it's a one-engine fighter, so you do lose a chunk of your production, but you retain something. I believe you lose a lot more if you were to have it like switched over to producing like bombers, for example, like 4-engine bombers. It's a lot to do with really the amount of engines, I believe. When it comes to R&D as well, I think what happens is a number of the R&D facilities switch over to production. But then again, I've never done that with the R&D, so that's going to be something that we'll learn about. Okay. So that's with Hiroshima. It's got enough supply, what's the issue? I'm honestly not entirely sure about that one. I'll have to double check that one in the future. Okay, what was it? Task Force 53 or 54? Yeah, these are very nice, actually. The Fubuki could do with, oh, she's already been upgraded. Okay, so you're going to be heading to Yokohama Yokosuka. Don't always take me down here. Yeah, so they'll be sent to escort the Shoho. So the APDs have arrived. They've dropped off the element of the 65th Brigade. Excellent. If you have 2 pilots in a squadron, then divide the squadron into 3 parts. The game will use those 2 parts and make them new leaders for those new squadrons you used your command in. Oh, right, yeah. I mean, you can switch them out anyway. Like, you can switch out squadron leaders, just like you would with army commanders anyway. Well, division commanders. Okay. So I was just replying to the message for her. I'd like to move a base force over here, I'm not gonna lie. Well, to Kendari. Let's see. 16th Army. Has the entire HQ already been loaded? Oh, god damn it, has, wow. Huh. Well, that's very good news then. Right, just disband you for the time being. These torpedo boats, are they really much in the way of use? Then again, they have got ASW, so I'd say yes. I could use them for other assets, though. Yeah, you're kind of buggered. The subchasers don't have a large way of endurance, but I'll have them escort that in. So I'm going to cancel loading of supplies, but that's a fair amount of supplies there already. So I'm going to have you replenish from the port. Okay, excellent. You're going to head to Kendari. But that's very good, I didn't realise they'd be able to load the entire 23rd in such a short amount of time. So it's actually very handy. I do want to get some actual escorts in over there with the 23rd. We've got a decent amount. But never hurts to be prepared. Okay. I mean, this is excellent news. Yeah, they are, well, they've been rearmed now, so that's fine. There were some enemy bombers from Ambon. It was the Dornier 24Ks or something like that. We did shoot down one of them, I think it was about 2 or 3. We should be alright for the most part. We are going to get aircraft over here soon. Let's see. Oh, there's the subchasers. Okay, well they're going to be in Babaldoab next turn. Luckily before they take too much in the way of system damage as well, which is nice. Hakazi and Takikazi. So these are Minikazi class destroyers. Yeah, they'll arrive in Babaldoab next turn as well. Okay. Have you dock? So I've got the first engineer Koi. So I can move about 500. These guys are amazing for this. What do we have here then? Engineers. But these guys actually are... wow. I see. Yeah, they're they need to be moved out of here, don't they? That's why I need to move the 9th. Yeah, I'll get those guys moved out of here, actually. Do they need to unload some of that supply there? Okay, so I'm going to be moving the knife. So I can't move the entirety of the knife, but I can move a decent amount of it. But what I'll do is I'll fly in the other elements of the knife then. So fly them in, as well as move them by ship. And I will verify the load. They're going to also move to Kandari. Then retirement is allowed. So that's about the limit of their range there. Okay. I'm going to move this squadron. I'm going to have this squadron move to truck. The reason being there's submarines in the area that I can actually gain experience from. I thought my ASW. Yeah. Now, they were taken up... I mean, I'm going to be obviously moving a lot of the aviation out from here. So I do need to reduce it, actually. Okay, troop transport. I'm going to move the 9th. Right, there we go, 9th. They're going to move into Kandari. And that is the absolute limit of their range. So they're going to take some losses here more than likely. But I do need to get those guys moving. They're running naval search. So I've got the other elements of the 65th Brigade here. I think what I'm going to do then... As far as it goes to the refineries in Midri, it's one of those things of I'm not really too keen on repairing them. I don't think it's really worth repairing it. We're better off just capturing it. It's like as far as it goes for Japan, we've got all the refinery refineries that we need. We just need to get the oil there. Yeah, so they're going to continue to bombard. I mean, they'll arrive next turn. I think what we need to do then with this unit... Let's take a look. How are they doing? Yeah, they've got a lot of disruption. What I'm going to do then is going to have that unit arrive over there. We'll have them offload to get supply into the island of Babaldoir, but also to give the men a rest. They've got about 30 disruption, so I'd rather have them rest. So what I'll do, repair the oil, yeah, we can do the royal, but as far as it goes for the refineries, I don't think I need them. So I'll have a 65th unload. And yeah, what we're going to do then is we'll be running reconnaissance in this area. So I'll use this 65th as a guinea pigs, really. I could even have the 65th dispatch to take Balapan. Whereas one of these, we do have a lot of bases in this area that we do need to take. This 65th does represent a big chunk of men as well. Alright, what are you doing here? You would intend to meet with those forces, but I must have forgot to give you orders. You'll return to the Bardois. Bit of a waste there, but I can't really risk them. I've currently got 2 patrol boats moving through this area. I'm going to have them move to Kandari just so I've got some patrol boats. They're going to be moving back. Load. Home port is Kandari. Right, I've also got 2 mine layers coastal. Well, coastal mine layers. I'd like to get them in. I think they do have, yeah, they do have a little bit of ASW. They've got a decent amount of maneuver, they're very small. They're only worth a victory point, but I'm going to get them in there. I need to get them in there. My god, they took a lot of damage. Right, the APD is going to be moving into Babaldoir. The good news is they're going to be bringing additional engineers as well. So we'll use those engineers to finish off the port expansion, then I'll have them moved elsewhere. But these APDs will be handy as well, because I can move actual different elements from the Babaldoir. I think what I might do is actually take them and have them move forces into Ambon, so we could potentially take the 65th and have them move on to Ambon, perhaps. Or we could have them move to other bases as well. But either way, they need to be moved to Babaldoir to refuel. These guys... Yeah, I mean, what I could potentially do is have some... I need to find an escort for these guys. They're really not doing any good here. What I'll do then, as we near Babaldoir, is I'll have these... the ships that don't have anything that's relevant to Kandari and to the Dutch East Indies, they're going to make harbour at Babaldoir, but then I'll have them moved elsewhere where they can be made use of. These airfield engineers are very handy. This force... is heading to Gibraltar as well. The heavy cruisers to Cow and Targo. Two light cruisers to destroyers. They're going to be moving into Gibraltar, so they can act as escorts and really as a surface force, really. How you doing there, Spellfire? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Well, if a surface force didn't attack, you probably move them out with Hermes. Potentially so. They were probably loaded on beforehand I can't remember where they were loaded on from. Probably from Pescadores. It might have been just in an effort just to get them out of there. But I don't expect... I mean, as I said, I don't expect to be using them in Viduchy Cities as such. We'll have them moved elsewhere. Kiso is moving over there. Oboro. You're moving to Saipan? I almost thought it said Saigon then. The Fubuki's heading back to Japan to go to upgrade. You're heading back. She knows an interesting spot here at the moment. Okay, these two APDs are also kind of aviation engineers. They're going to be heading to Kandari. I'm going to have them just take a little bit of a detour. Just a tad. The reason being is I don't want them to get hit by the submarines there. They've got two destroyer escort, but the thing is, it's like I don't want them to be torpedoed at all. But they've also got the Saga as well. Or Sega. Megastar. Right. They're returning. Yeah. I've sent him back. I did manage to start the stream, I reckon, on near enough to start. So they're heading back. We're going to definitely need a second stream, really. Alright, what I'm going to do then... When is the invasion of Australia? It depends what part of Australia. We might make a play towards Darwin, but that's probably about as far as we go. Right, they're gonna go back to truck. I'm gonna reorganize all the patrol boats here. We've got a lot of them are just... Like, for example, we've got Ansayos, and they need to be used elsewhere. I can use them for a lot more than this. So I want them to head into truck. The reason being I can organize them better then. So at the moment we've got a lot of them that aren't doing very much. I mean, we're not going to distract them at Darwin. If we go there, we'll go to take Darwin. How you doing there, Rackar? Yeah, I know, right? A little bit all over sometimes. To be fair, I was going to be streaming earlier on tonight, but I was waiting on some food to arrive. If you go to Darwin, you go to destroy... Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, look at these guys. These guys are amazing. These are what we need. Okay. I'm going to have these guys sent to the Baldoir, actually. The reason being we can actually use them to ferry fuel around the Dutch East Indies. Yeah, same for you. Okay, they're going to head back into truck. I want to get a handle on the situation over here. And run effective patrols, really. Right, you're moving the base force there. Just rest about 10% of them. 20% really, sorry. You're in ASW, you're in search. You're in search. I run 2 groups of them on ASW then. And this is going to be awesome for their experience. If he's going to place submarines near our actual bases, then that's fine. We'll use that to our advantage. So we can see there is 1, 2, 4. Those guys are 10 hexes from track, but I think they'll be outside of ASW range. ASW range is halved. Well, your range halved. Yeah, they would be in range. Okay. Over here. I'm gonna have the dive bombers on ASW. Keep the Kates on about 30, I think. Though actually, I'll drop it down to about 20% and just put in 10% rest there. I'm going to drop the levels of combat air patrol. Up the levels of rest. Penny Wars. You know, that sounds like an excellent TV show, actually. Do lose track of your carriers. Yeah, he's lost track of the carriers here at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing then, because I don't exactly fear too much in the way of surface attack, is it's going to be more so submarine attacks from this point on, actually. So what we're going to do then is we're going to run them in SW, at least a good amount of them. Keep the B5 and 2K to really naval attack just on the off chance he does have something in the area. At least then we do have something to respond with. Alright, I need to destroy that submarine there. Then run SW. We don't have a huge amount of supply there to Lagi. I do need to get more supply there. Pizza running ASW as well. Not a huge amount of range, but they are in range of these guys over here, it seems. So we've got this very large force moving over there to Buna. I think I'm going to take the Kinagusa out and have the Kinu moved in there. At least I can actually form a surface force there. Well, that's sad. So I'm about a PP penalty. Why is that? Is that because they need to be withdrawn soon or something? Alright. When will it tell us when they need to be withdrawn, actually? Don't think I've seen a warning here. I might be missing it somewhere. I don't think I've seen one. Is it because this is red? Oh, 16th. Oh, right, yeah, that's why they're red, isn't it? Yeah, removed by the 1st of February 1942, okay. Right. Well, we'll keep them there while they're there, then, do I have to stand them down to actually be able to withdraw them? Well, we've got till the 1st of February anyway, so I'll withdraw them just the day before then. Okay, we've got some prizes over here to hunt down. Oh, it's a location thing. Okay. So let's say then, where could they be heading? I'm going to assume they're heading to Pearl Harbor. And in fairness, if they're heading to Pearl Harbor, I can keep the patrol up that way. You're really quite low in fuel, actually. I'm going to have you retire. You might not even have enough fuel to make it back, to be honest. There's about 500 units of fuel there, me, whatever. So head for that island, at least you can take on a small amount of fuel. When I return. I believe you have a Jake on board. Alright, we'll try and hunt them down. The float plane will make it significantly easier. What happens to the planes of a CS when you convert it to a CL, but some of the squadrons... it's a good question. I imagine they're still there. So they're not tied to the carrier, well, they're not tied to the CS. I mean, they are, the tied to the CS as such if it's its own innate squadron, but I don't know. I imagine they're still there. I could imagine you probably just take them off, perhaps. I don't think they'd automatically upgrade. I think you'd have to manually upgrade them. More than likely, anyway. Something of that nature. Okay. So we're going to go for a deliberate attack here with everything. And then we'll rest the weakest thing tomorrow. It's close to breaking. We're just going to grind it down. I'm dispatching the Maizuru first SLF. It's going to take them a couple days to march to the other side of the island. But the thing is, if the island hasn't... Well, if the base hasn't fallen by that time, then at least have some additional reinforcements that are fresh. Oh, that's very good then. That's cool. I place you on bloody ASW, I've learned my lesson there. Still can't believe the luck there. I was incredibly lucky. I'm not going to use the G-Freeze. I don't think it'd be worth it. I'm actually going to have you move firm. Let's see. No, unfortunately, we didn't manage to... Well, the actual destroying minesweeper that was actually taking the assets of Norfolk Island. After the Amigiri was sunk, we did have it turn around. Turns out, when it actually got off the coast of New Caledonia, it was sunk by a submarine, so... That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. So we're going to have this load of supplies. You're going to take supplies over to Tulagi. There we go. That's a good question there from Fall. Okay. So I've actually got the patrol boats over here. You're going to dock up while you are here. You're going to dock up once you arrive. But that's very good. So that means that we're actually going to have the supply over here that we need. So ideally I can begin to start expanding the actual airfield, or building an airfield. Eventually I want to have an airfield over here at Funafuti and then have an airfield over here at Survive that's actually got engineers. Maybe got an airfield, but I just need engineers. Tanawa, how are we doing? I'm going to have that sub disband, I reckon. It's not really doing any good there. Alright. I remember now. Son of a bitch. Or is it 20? Okay. So from Royndemer they can reach out to that distance, which is 18, yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this squadron, or at least this detachment. I'm going to transfer them down to Tanawa. Right, you move to Tanawa. One of them was damaged on the way over. Yeah, one of them was already undergoing repairs, it seems. So you'll be left, and then once you're repaired, you'll move down south too. One day you'll be ready. Moving to reserve. I'm going to take you. Transfer you down to Funafuti. Draw a reserve as well. Okay. The reason why I've done this is because that theoretically gives us detection over this entire area now. But more importantly is it does actually help to buffer Luganville. So you can see Luganville is 20 hexes away. Fiji's 15. Sorry, no, Fiji's 13. Well, Suva's 13, Nardi's 14. This is 12. How you doing there, Van Bishop? Yeah. So we've got range all the way down to around about this point over here. Yeah, it's about that point there. But it's not so much over what's in Fiji, it's over on what's coming from this direction. So you can see here that we'd have detection theoretically out to 17. So that's all. Yeah, a little bit further than that. So then I've got some aircraft over here. You can see that Tanawa's 19 hexes away. So yeah, in theory, let's take a look over here. So how far away is Tanawa from Royndemer? Torigrimmer is 14 hexes away. Okay. So, yep, in theory we've got search aircraft all the way down here, which is good. It really helps to really insulate us here. The good news is they're float planes and they can get out of there pretty quick and easy. So that's really good. That's what we need, really. Honestly, it works well for us. Yeah. I mean, it's what we've been wanting for a long while. So that means that these jakes over here could be freed up to move elsewhere. And the thing is, it's like, if I was to move them over there to Canton Island and operate them out at 10 hexes, they're still not seeing that much, really. What I might do then is I should take the jakes. I mean, they're alright in this area here. I mean, that's 8 hexes. That's 10 hexes. Like over here, they can actually do a good job. How are we looking here on support? 18, required 6. Okay, we're just above that. Where's your terrorist thing? Okay, she's over there. We have very good detection now. I don't think they're doing themselves any good here. I'll have them continue with naval surge. I really wish I didn't lose my AV over here, I'm not gonna lie. That would have been really, really nice to have had that at Bellep. Twas not to be. Twas not to be. Would have made my life significantly bloody easier. Ah, well. So we're gonna arrive at Bataan next turn. Ah, good. So, I'll, yeah. I'll disband when you arrive. Excellent. These two guys are ready there. Okay. Well, the good news is now that we've got the actual submarine tender, that's going to arrive in Miri next turn. I need more supply in Miri, but we'll be doing that. I think we'll do it in the next stream. But, what we're going to be doing is going to move in additional supply of it to Miri. We've got the fuel that's been generated. Supply there, we've got the tender. That means I can use this as an actual bona fide submarine base, which is really very handy. But unfortunately, that's going to have to come next time. It's a little bit late here at the moment. We've got our good 2 hours in here, so at least you guys have got your fix. I'm going to go and chill. But I'm also going to try and bloody decide on what I'm going to buy. Because I wanted to get some 6mm modern forces. So I'm going to design on that. Plus I'm going to watch some anime. So I hope you guys have a really awesome time. A little bit short, kinda. A little bit later than normal. But yeah, we'll finish this off more than likely tomorrow. Or even the day after. THG is not even going to be able to do anything on this until at the earliest Monday, so we don't have to rush too much. We can have a good amount of time to just think of what we're doing here. So I'm going to say good night here, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Goodbye for now. And of course, if you enjoy my content, please do consider becoming a Patreon. Well, becoming a patron. I was getting the wrong term. Becoming a potato. Yeah, become a potato. Fuck. Slay. Good night, guys. Have a beautiful evening. See you later.